Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be showing you my $20,000 anime card collection. Yes, I'm a weeb, and potentially you are too because you've clicked on this video. So yeah, let's take a look at the cards. Hopefully you enjoy them as much as I do. And I say anime cards, but I specifically mean Weiss Schwarz trading cards. So if you don't know what Weiss Schwarz is, it is a trading card game where each set, they essentially collaborate with different anime and different shows. Now the special cards you can get in these sets are hot stamped, signed by the voice actors on the character that they voice actor for. So these are really, really cool. I absolutely love them. Anyone that loves anime will probably appreciate these cards. Now occasionally they do collaborate with non-anime IPs such as Disney. We've also recently had Avatar: The Last Airbender as a set, but most of them are anime based. And yeah, let's check out what I've got in my collection and go through it. I was very surprised that it was actually worth this much. I know I have some high value cards and items in my collection, but I've never really added it up. So when you finally see that figure, it can be quite surprising. But first of all, let's just switch cameras because I want to show you guys the most iconic and expensive Weiss Schwarz set card in existence, and it is this card here. So here it is. It is the Bunny Girl Mai Sakurajima Trial Deck SP, gold stamped with the signature of her voice actor on it, Asami Seto. And this, in my opinion, is the most iconic card in Weiss Schwarz. I compare it to the first edition base set Charizard of Pokemon, and that's not because it was the first set to come out, but simply because it's the most iconic and it is the most expensive Weiss Schwarz set card going. Now this is a Japanese copy of the card, it's not the English copy, which is a lot more expensive. Based on this card's current condition, I would say this is valued at around 2,000 US dollars. Now if this was English and if it was graded a 10 by BGS, that last sold for 45,000 US dollars. Now there's a reason why the English version is much more expensive than the Japanese version, and I've made a separate video about that, so if you're interested, go check out that video. I'll leave the link in the description. But with that said, let's start to take a look at some of the other cards in my collection. But first up, sealed products. So I have a few sealed products before we get back into the cards. Now these are sealed cases, and essentially with Weiss Schwarz, you've got obviously booster boxes that have all the booster packs in, but a sealed case has a set amount of booster boxes, and within a sealed case you have a set amount of pull rates. So maybe it's 2 SPs or 3 SPs. So because of that, people don't really collect just loose sealed boxes because they could potentially have nothing in them if someone opens the case and opens half of it, gets all the hits, and then they know the remaining sealed boxes have nothing in. So I bought some sealed cases. I actually completely forgot about one of these, which was, I didn't realise I had the final season, Attack on Titan final season case. So in these are 18 booster boxes. These are the old style cases where you get 16 booster boxes, and obviously the shape's different. So we've got a final season booster box that's probably around 500 US dollars. We've then got Attack on Titan Volume 1 and Attack on Titan Volume 2. Not sure what way around that is, I've probably read it wrong, but that they are essentially, I think, $750 each, which those cases in general are below sort of retail distribution. When Attack on Titan came out, it was kind of over ordered a little bit, so there was a lot of it and it dropped in price a little bit. Now I've also got, if you can see here, a Mushoku Tensei case. Now this case has gone up in price over time. This currently sits at, I think, at around 1,800 US dollars. I'm also missing a case. I've got a Tokyo Revengers case that I forgot to bring out, but that is worth right now on TCG Player 800 US dollars. So that's the sealed collection. Let's get back into the cards. Right, we are sat down, so let's get into it. Let's see what cards I have to show you guys. So just showing this off so you can see it a bit closer and just a bit more in detail. So that is a $2,000 Bunny Girl Mai SP in Japanese with the signature right there, as you can see. And yeah, there she is, one of the most iconic cards in Weiss Schwarz. So next up, we've got some trophy cards. Now, trophy cards can only be obtained by playing the game, winning at a competition. They are very limited in terms of how many are awarded out. Obviously, you can buy them off players, and that is what I did to obtain these cards here. So we've got a PSA 9 Springfest SAO Alice 2020 regional champion card. As you can see, it's stamped on there, the details about the event. Now, this was actually given out in 2022 because the 2020 event was cancelled due to COVID. This PSA 9 version right here, I have down at around $1,300 US. Now, give or take, a lot of these prices are hard to figure out and they are just kind of rough estimates, give or take 10-20%. Either way, to be honest, some of them I will underestimate and some of them I potentially might overestimate. But yeah, $1,300 US, only 43 copies of that card were given out worldwide, and I have 3 copies of it myself. So we've then got a PSA 10 version of the card. Let's try and get that focused. So again, same card, and obviously grade higher this time. So I'm valuing this one at around $1,600 US. I think raw copies of the card ungraded normally priced at around $1,500 US, but Weiss Schwarz typically grades quite well. That PSA 9 was unfortunate. So roughly like a PSA 10 isn't that far off a raw price or different from it whatsoever, but I will put that at $1,600. And then next up, we've got the same card in a BGS 10, which is normally quite a bit harder to grade than a PSA 10. This isn't the black label, it has a 9.5 on the corners, but even the 10 pristine is generally harder. So I value this higher than the PSA 10. I would put it roughly at something around $2,000 US. So that is some Sword Art Online trophy cards. And next up, we got some more raw cards that I have yet to get around to submitting. And I know I said anime cards, but they did do a set with Avatar, and this is one of the cards I have. This is the most expensive Avatar card in Weiss Schwarz. It is the regional champion, so again, a trophy card from 2023 this time, and it is the Katara trophy card. Now, this card is valued roughly at around $1,600 US. There were 54 copies of this card given out around the world, so a little bit more than the Alice, but there was a lot of demand for this card, a lot of people picking up this card, so slightly more in terms of raw cost. And as you can see here, we've got another Avatar card. So this is the chase card from the Avatar set. It is the Aang Secret Rare, and yeah, this one here is $500 US. And for any Chainsaw Man fans out there, this is the Power SSP. This was only obtained by opening up trial decks. That was the only way to get this card. And we've got her roughly priced at $400 to $500 US. Now, I won't go over every single one, but some of the more valuable cards like this, I'm happy to go into a little bit more detail. I really like this card. It wasn't that popular with some people because of the quite basic background design. So next up, some more raw cards. Made Clothes Spring Fest. So again, it was not a trophy card. I believe it was a shop challenge card. So it was still awarded out to players, but there was a lot more copies of it. This is around $200 US. We've got some more Spring Fest cards here. So let's just try and go through these quickly. I'll put the prices on the screen. We've got a Mushoku Tensei Roxy official judge card. Now, I do need to grade all of these cards because they are ready to send to PSA. I just haven't got around to it. And yeah, as I said, sometimes Weiss Schwarz do collaborations with other IPs and things like Disney. So here we've got a Spider-Man SSP from the Disney 100 set, and we've got a Bang Dream official judge card. So they're just some of the raw cards that I've been meaning to send off for grading. So obviously I will be adding all of this up. So if we move on to some PSA cards. Now, I find this one is hard to value, if I'm honest with you. It is the ReZero Ram signed card. So her signature on this card is actually in pink. It's quite small though. Let's see if we can get that shown up quite. There we go, that's a bit better. So there's her signature there. There's a big bit in the middle. So if this was the REM version, I've seen someone list the REM signed card in a PSA 10 for, I think it was $1,600 US. Obviously Ram is not as popular as Rem. She's not everyone's best girl. I'm sure she is someone's best girl, but in comparison, she is a slightly less popular character. This is an old Weiss Schwarz set. I'm roughly valuing this one at anywhere between $500 to $750 US based on how much the Rem seems to go for. But for old Weiss Schwarz cards like this, it can be really hard to value them, if I'm honest with you. You know, it's not just a case like with Pokemon, for example, where you can just type the card in and look at sold prices on eBay. Most of these cards get sold on the Discord group for Weiss Schwarz or Weiss Schwarz Facebook page. So I'll link them in the description if anyone's interested in checking them out. So here we've got Slime Volume 2, I believe this one was. It is an SSP with Rimuru on the front and lovely signature gold stamp across it. So I've got some more PSA 10 slime. This is the reprint because the signature on this one is silver and it's labeled there. And yeah, so we got the Milim reprint silver signature. We got the Shizu gold signature and another Rimuru if it focuses. And again, a PSA 10 on that one. Onto a few Beckett BGS slabs. Again, the 10s generally are harder to obtain on BGS than they are PSA. So we've got some 7 deadly sins, not slims. We've got some more slime. So we've got a BGS 10 on this one. I've had to cover up all the faces from the avatar playmat because it tries to focus on them for some reason. Right, we've got some Adventure Time as well. So this again was one of those other sets that they just randomly did, and this was back in 2020, just before Weiss Schwarz was getting a bit more popular from the sort of COVID collector boom that happened in a lot of TCG. So again, pristine 10 on that. They're kind of hard to come by just because they came out sort of early 2020. So we got some more 7 Deadly Sins with a BGS 10. We got some more slime with another BGS 10 on the Shion. And we got some Disney Pixar. We've got the Finding Nemo SSP. So need to keep covering up the characters' faces in the background. So yeah, this was my favorite card from the Pixar set. Really, really nice. So again, nice to get a pristine 10 on that one. And we got a Shuna, if I haven't already just showed that and muddled it up. And then one more Adventure Time card. So we've got Marceline on a BGS 10 again on that one. So obviously in this case, for the more Western shows, they can't get the voice actors' signatures. They put a little quote or something like that on the card as a stamp instead. So we've got a quote from her. Now, next up, I have a lot of just PSA 10 sort of slabs that I think all of these in general, I'm just going to roughly price at $100 each. Some will be more, some will be less. So we've got Tokyo Revengers. We've got some Attack on Titan. We've got Mikasa SP. We've got the Eren Trial Deck SP in a PSA 9. This is the most, not expensive, but the most rarest Attack on Titan set card because it never got reprinted, that one. And we've got some more Springfest cards. So 2 of them in Gem Mint 10s. We've got Final Season, Eren, Declaration of War. We got another Attack on Titan, not Final Season, Volume 1 even. So we've got the Levi gold signature with a PSA 10. We got some Mushoku Tensei 10s. We've got some Japanese Title Cup winner cards. So as you can see, stamped in blue with congratulations on them, with a really nice Asuna SAO artwork on it. And some more Mushoku Tensei. We've got a PSA 9 on the SSP. We've got some more Attack on Titan. We've got Armin from Final Season, PSA 10. Triple rare Rem in Japanese. So if this was signed, if this was the signature version, it is very expensive because it was Japanese exclusive. We never got it in English, but the triple rare just doesn't have the signature, and we did get that in English. But it's a really nice card if you can't afford the signature version, which I definitely can't. So we've got another Springfest card, some more Japanese Title Cups in PSA 10s. But as I said, I'm valuing these on average $100. It's probably a bit more, but we're just going to go with that. And we've got another Title Cup Japanese card. So I've also got a few cards in a binder, some signed SPs. So we've got Chainsaw Man, Japanese SP there. We've got a Bunny Girl reprint SP, which doesn't have the signature, but in the reprint they just put the stamp on it, so it's still an SP. We've got a Hololive Volume 2 SP down here, and then just a mixture of SRs and triple rares, which are generally worth, a few dollars each. And we got an SSP from Bang Dream 5th anniversary there. We've also got some raw cards. So we've got Attack on Titan Final Season. We've got the Falco SP from the trial decks. I've just got a few loose raw cards here. I think about $200 each. So if it decides to focus, we got another ReZero card. We got another Made Clothes if we lose focus. And we got another Spring Fest. We got a Sakura card from Card Captor. So yeah, just a few loose cards. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much most of the collection, if I'm honest with you. Don't get me wrong, I've got a few other cards here and there, but they aren't, you know, I've gone over the most valuable ones in the collection here. So yeah, they probably add up a little bit, but nowhere near as much as some of the most expensive ones. I was very surprised by the value, as I said. If you're wondering why I always mention US dollars with Weiss Schwarz, this is a small TCG. It's not like Pokemon where it almost has its own market prices in different countries. This is much, much smaller, and everyone just agrees the price for cards are based in US dollars. And if you're from a different country, that's just the way it is. And obviously that can be good and bad. It really depends on how your currency is doing, how the US dollar is doing, but no one really prices things up in their own currency. It is always US dollars. So sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Depends if you're buying or selling and if the currency is stronger or weaker. But I know sometimes that annoys people that I talk in US dollars, put that in the thumbnail and things like that. But that is actually how we price up these cards, even though I'm in the UK and that is not my currency. That's just the way Weiss Schwarz is. Now, yeah, a few people did ask for a video like this, so I hope you enjoyed it. Obviously, I first came into card collecting with Pokemon, and I still have a big Pokemon collection. So I guess if anyone's interested, I know all of my content now is Weiss Schwarz related, but yeah, if anyone's interested, let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll have to do a similar thing with my Pokemon collection. It's probably worth more than this, if I'm honest with you. I did have a lot of high-end items sort of a year ago, and I did sell some of them off, but I still have a fair amount of high-end items in my Pokemon card collection. And yeah, if I had to guess, it's definitely worth more than this, and this in itself I was surprised at. So yeah, I mean, if you're watching this far and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. I post all sorts of Weiss Schwarz content, openings and market talks, and looking at things like the sets they're bringing out in the future and the cards that they're revealing. So if you're interested in that, hit subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, please hit like. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.